Let's be honest, 90% of Amazon Prime Day stuff is absolute garbage. But hidden in the junk are a few genuinely incredible deals on the hardware I actually use every single day. So what I've done is comb through Amazon and found 10 Prime Day deals that are legitimately worth your money, including pretty much everything in my everyday carry, to the core of my smart home setup, to the gear I use for gaming on the go. The first thing on the list will be obvious to anyone who's watched my channel before. It's the Google Pixel 10 Pro. So this is my daily phone, the actual phone that I use every single day, and I love it. I think it's Google's best phone to date. The thing I love the most about it is its size. It's small enough that I can put it in my pocket and use it one-handed, but it doesn't skimp on specs. It still has all the camera features I need, it still has a beautiful display, a fairly large battery, it charges pretty fast, and of course, it has Pixel Snap, which is probably one of my favorite things that Google has ever done to its smartphone line, so I'm really excited to see this continue to be in all the Pixel 11 phones coming out this year. One of the big problems with the Pixel 10 Pro, though, is that it is really expensive, starting at $999 for 128 gigabytes of storage, which isn't great. But for Amazon Prime Day, that price is coming down to $699, which I'm pretty sure is the lowest price we've ever seen on Amazon for a brand new Pixel 10 Pro. That's pretty much a steal, and any sort of complaints that you might have about the phone and its power performance or anything like that pretty much go out the window once you realize you can get it for just $699. And remember, that's the base price, so that doesn't include if you do any trade-ins or get any extra discounts or anything like that. So if you've been looking at the Pixel 10 Pro, I highly suggest picking it up. If you don't want a Pixel 10 Pro because you like your phones big, well, the Pixel 10 Pro XL is also on sale. And if you want even a bigger discount, you can always go with the Pixel 10, which is really on sale today. However, keep in mind that the Pixel 10 does lose out on a bunch of camera features, and it doesn't have quite as nice of a build to it. Up next is an integral aspect of my everyday carry, which are the Google Pixel Buds Pro 2. These are terrific ANC earbuds that I use pretty much every day. I got them in the hazel colorway, but that was before they came out in the moonstone colorway, which I'm very disappointed about because then they would match my phone and that would be clutch. But unfortunately, I have the hazel model. If you decide to grab these, try and get the moonstone model as they look really, really nice. Typically, these cost $229, which is very expensive, but today they're down to $169, which is still pretty expensive, but I think worth it for some earbuds that last a real long time, have terrific sound quality, plenty of cool smart features, including being able to talk with Gemini Live whenever you want to, and also that ANC that I mentioned before, which is pretty good. It's not good enough for me to take onto a plane. For that, I use my Sony WH-1000XM4. I think I said that right. I use those when I'm on the plane, but for these, I wear just around if I'm walking around or going to the airport or whatever it might be. So highly suggest these. If you don't want to spend this much money though, if $169 is still too much for you, the Pixel Buds 2A are also on sale for a significant discount, bringing them down to I think $99, which is also really good for a great set of earbuds. But if you got the money, I highly recommend going to the Pro 2s. The next thing on the list is something you've seen in pretty much every video I've made this year, which is this, the Pixel Watch 4. This is the 45mm model. There is a 41mm model that is also on sale, but the 45mm model I think is the perfect size for my wrist. If you want something smaller, the 41mm is still really good, but remember, it's going to have a smaller battery because it's going to be a smaller body, so you're not going to see as good battery life as you would with the larger 45mm model. But either way, I think you'll be happy. Oh, and this is the Wi-Fi only model, not the LTE model. I don't really need LTE in my watch, so I don't really feel the need to spend a premium to get that, but if you do, that version is also on sale. The Wi-Fi model, though, brings down the price to $319, down from $399, and that is also the lowest price that we've ever seen on Amazon for this watch. So if you were thinking about getting one, now would be a great time. This is also in the Moonstone colorway, so it matches my Pixel 10 Pro. Like I said before, I wish my earbuds also matched so I could be all matchy, but unfortunately, not the case right now. But yeah, this is the Moonstone model. It comes in Obsidian and a bunch of other colors, and all of them are on sale, so if you want one of these watches, now would be a good time. Okay, moving away from Google stuff, this is also a major aspect of my everyday carry, which is this, the INIU 25,000 milliamp hour 100 watt portable charger. So they're a sponsor of this channel, but this is not sponsored content. They haven't paid me to say this, but this is a product that I actually use. It was one of those situations where the company came to me with a sponsored content deal and I took it, but I actually love the product so much that I just continued using it. So that's a testament to how good this product really is. Yeah, this charges everything. It charges my laptop, it charges my phones. It can even charge my phone and my laptop at the exact same time, which is pretty incredible considering I have a pretty powerful gaming laptop. But the coolest thing about this is that the strap here is actually a USB-C cable. So you can take this out and then you always have a USB-C cable wherever you go. There's no need to have an extra cable with you. You just snap this out and plug in whatever it is that you need to plug in. So the normal price for this is $66.99, which is pretty hefty, and it's down to $59.99. I know that's not a huge discount, but it is a discount, and I swear by this thing. It has saved me multiple times while I've been traveling and needed to charge something up really quickly. So highly recommended, even if the discount isn't so great. Next, we have the Logitech MX Master 3S. This is the mouse that I use for pretty much everything, except when I'm home at my main desk when I use the upgraded 4. But this is the one I travel with whenever I'm using, my computer or my laptop, on the road, and I need to use a mouse. This is always in my bag. It charges with USB-C. The battery lasts forever. There's Bluetooth connectivity. Obviously, the Bluetooth connectivity isn't as good as if you have one of those dongles, but at the same time, I think Bluetooth is just fine. I'm not gaming with this. I'm just, using it for productivity and video editing and things like that. The battery on this is absolutely insane. Like I barely need to charge this. It's very accurate. It fits in my hand perfectly. I can use this comfortably for hours and not feel any of that wrist strain that you can kind of feel with mouse designs that aren't quite so ergonomic. And I also love the scroll wheel on the side here. That way I can rest my thumb here and move the scroll wheel around. This is great for when I'm in spreadsheets or timelines, whatever it might be. So yeah, best mouse I've ever used. I don't think I'll ever use anything but a Logitech MX Master mouse for the rest of my life. So unless something better comes along. Normal price for this is $99.99, which is pretty steep, but it's down to $79.99 today. So that's a pretty good discount. Definitely grab it if you want one. Another thing I use all the time is the 8BitDo Pro 2 controller. I do a lot of Nintendo emulation on my PC and my smartphones, but I don't use this for that. I'll talk about smartphone emulation in a minute. But when I'm playing on my laptop, I like to use this because it's got the Nintendo button layout with the A button over here on the right instead of on the bottom. And it feels and looks kind of like an SNES controller. That was, the first console I think I ever played in my life. So I have a very deep affinity for this controller design. I also love that the D-pad is like the classic style, not that big round thing that some controllers have. The sticks are Hall effect, which is really nice. I never have to worry about stick drift or anything. It has extra buttons on the back if you want to do some customization down there. The software to customize things for the controller is really, really good. It's just a great overall solid controller that I keep coming back to every time I think about, trying to change my controller setup. I pretty much always end up back at this design somehow. Typically, this controller isn't even that expensive when it's not on sale at $49.99, which is significantly cheaper than something like a DualSense controller for a PlayStation or even the Xbox controller. But today, you get $10 off that, so it drops it down to $39.99. That's a no-brainer. I think this is the best controller you can get for $40. If you're looking for something with the Nintendo layout, this is the one. So when I'm at home, I use this controller, but when I'm on the go, I use the Razer Kishi V3 Pro. If you've watched my channel, you've seen this in so many of my videos, as pretty much whenever I'm doing a gaming test or an example of gaming stuff, I have a phone slotted into this. So it's a classic telescopic controller. There's plenty of customizable buttons, including these claw buttons up here. Yeah, it just feels good in my hand. It's got vibration to it. The D-pad isn't my favorite, but it'll work. The sticks feel awesome. Yeah, this is just a terrific controller for snapping in a smartphone and immediately just getting going. It is really expensive though, which is my biggest problem with it, at $150, which is pretty steep. But for Amazon Prime Day, the price comes down to $139, which is much more reasonable. Still really expensive for something like this, but at the same time, it just feels good in my hand. It works really well. I swear by it. So if you're looking for a telescopic controller, I highly recommend this one. But if this is too rich for your blood, hey, the 8BitDo controller is really cheap and you can still bring that on the go as well. All right, let me do a few more Google things here. Another thing that's on sale is actually my Wi-Fi router. So this is the Google Nest Wi-Fi Pro. I have 2 of these nodes in my house. My house is pretty small, so I probably don't even need 2, but I got a 2-pack because that was the deal that I got at the time. These are really easy to use. They're really easy to set up. I love that it integrates well with all my other Google stuff in the house. And I also love that I can always check on it through the Google Home app. That's one of the advantages of sticking with Google. If your smart home is built on Google stuff and you use the Google Home app a lot, you can control your Wi-Fi from this. So you don't need to have a third-party app like if you got a Netgear router or an Asus router or something like that. Really simplistic. If you're a super technical person who wants to have deep, absolute control over your entire Wi-Fi network, you're probably going to think this is too simple and you're not going to like it. But if you're somebody like me who just wants an internet that is easy to maintain and easy to customize and do what you need with it, I highly recommend these. They are very good. The 3-pack is on sale today for $249, which is the lowest price that we've seen this year for this product. But if that's too rich for your blood, you can just get one of them for $89.99, which is the lowest price this year as well. And that's over half off because typically one of them is $199. So this is a significant discount. Okay, and the last Google thing is the Google Nest Doorbell. This is the battery operated version. I love this thing. It also integrates with my Google Home. So when someone rings the doorbell, not only does it alert my phone that they did, but it also rings all my Nest audios and Nest speakers in the house to make it very clear that someone is at the door. There's a little camera up here that records in, I think it's 1080p, but it's not the greatest. I'm sure I could get something that's 4K and up, but considering it's battery operated, the lack of 4K means the battery lasts longer. Speaking of which, the battery lasts between, I would say, like 3 weeks to a month before I need to charge it. But if you live on a really busy street and you don't zone out the camera, then you might have less battery life than that. But really, this has been super reliable. It keeps a very strong connection. The only thing that you have to remember is that if you want this to be like a security camera that actually records the data and makes sure that you can save it for an extended period of time, you're going to need a subscription. At the base, you need a $9.99 Google Home Premium subscription to get all that saved video information. If you don't care about that though, and you just want to have somebody ring the doorbell and have a notification on your phone and see who's there, this will work just fine and you don't need a subscription for it at all. Typically this goes for $180, but today it's down to $120, which is a pretty good discount. And yeah, this has been out for several years now, and it's still pretty much Google's top of the line battery powered model. I can't imagine that they're going to do anything extra special in the near future with this. So if you've been holding off on this because you've been waiting for something better to come along, I don't think there's any need. I think you should just grab this one. Comes in a lot of fun colors. This is the snow version. But yeah, highly recommend this. It's been working great for me in my house. Okay, and the final thing on the list is this, my Amazon Kindle Paperwhite. I actually don't even remember what version of this is. I mean, they all look the same, so you can't even really tell the difference between them all, but I'm pretty sure this is the most recent generation, or if it's not, it's the previous generation. But yeah, I mean, they're pretty much all the same, so whichever one you get is going to be great. I love the soft paper-like feel on the front. I love that the battery is basically unkillable. You barely need to charge this ever. And I love that it's small and thin and light. It fits in my bag, no problem. It even fits in my pocket, I think, if I force it. This is the version without ads, which I think costs typically $179.99, which is a lot. But for Amazon Prime Day, that comes down to $144.99. Now, you could spend less money and get the ads version, which will have an ad here. Right now, this is just like a screensaver, but if it were the ad version, there would be an ad for another book here, or even other Amazon products. I hate that. I don't want ads in my home, especially just like right there by my bedside table. So I would rather spend the extra money to get the one without ads. So if you want to spend a little less, go ahead and get the ads one. But if you want my advice, go with the $145 version with no ads at all. Okay, so anyway, that's all the stuff for Amazon Prime Day that I actually own in my life and use all the time for deep discounts today that I think you should check out. If you want to buy any of these things, I've left links in the description that take you right to those pages. If you do click those links, it helps out my channel a lot. It doesn't cost you extra money, but it does help me out. So I highly recommend doing that if you support my channel. And if you want to see more things like this, you better subscribe. And if you want to see more videos from me, I've made a playlist up here that shows a lot of different things that I I've made over the past year, and I highly recommend checking them out. So yeah, tell me in the comments which products you want to check out for yourself or which ones you already own. And yeah, I'll see you all down in the comments.